Alright, so 2K18 and 2K19 conversions. First up, 2K18 conversion. You're looking at the main tool directory here, and in it are the files still from the 2K17 conversion that I did a little bit ago for the tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and, before we get started, just get rid of those files. So the NBA2KXX.model file, I'm going to delete that. The converted folder, I'm going to delete that. It will be regenerated whenever we run the tool. Now I'm going to go over to my folder I have for the tutorial, where I have my 2K18 player that I want to convert. I have his files. I'm going to open up the PNG archive. I'm going to select the largest model file that you see in 7-zip, and then I'm going to control click to also select the hi-hat.scene file. I drag those in. I'm then going to drag the model file and copy it into my main tool directory here. And I'm going to rename that file to NBA2KXX.model. And we're going to go ahead and run the tool. We're going to click NBA2K18 for the game we want to convert from. Click that first button, convert player to NBA2K20. Wait for confirmation in the console that says player converted. Exit and close. Now we're going to go into the converted folder. We're going to open up the hi-hat.scene file that we have in there. And then we're also going to go in, we're going to go into the resources folder, the scene templates folder, the NBA 2K18 folder, and open up this open up this 2K18_converted.scene file. And I'm going to drag it over to a separate window here so we can have them side by side. And the only thing I care about here is if you go down to the bottom and then scroll up until you get to the prim section for both of these, all I want is to copy this prim section from the 2K18 converted.scene file and paste it over the existing prim section in this converted hi-hat.scene file. Once I've done that, I'm good to save, and we can now head to Blender. I'm going to locate my tool directory, go to the converted folder, and import that hi-hat.scene file that I just pasted in the prim section for. Can import that. Okay, there's two things that we need to accomplish in Blender, and it doesn't take long at all. The first is to go into edit mode, deselect everything, and select this unused 2K20 vertex group here. Hit S to scale it, and while holding control and dragging your mouse towards the center here, it'll snap to different values. Just go all the way until it snaps to 0.00 for the scale, and to where it reduces to a single point. Like so. And once we're done with that, we're going to locate the 2K18, those two files that we extracted from the 2K18 player's PNG archive. We're going to locate that folder. So wherever you have that folder with those files in it. I've got mine here. So we're just importing the original 2K18 player's file. Now that that's done, you can just label it 2K18. Change the object name to 2K18 so you don't get confused. And if you notice here, I have another object named 2K20. That's not necessary now for 2K18 and 2K19 conversions, but I just have it loading up with my default factory settings for 2K16 and 2K17 conversions because it comes in handy then. But just disregard this 2K20 object here. But so yeah, the 2K18 model, rename it up here, hide it, and then go to select your hi-hat object, which will be your converted player. Go to the Modifiers tab, click Add Modifier Shrink-Wrap. Go to Vertex Group, click on Base Body Shape, and then hit 2K18. And then copy that group 3 times. And go ahead and for the next 3, select a different vertex group. For the first one, torso shader model. For the third one, hidden shader model. And for the fourth one, legs shader model. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and hit apply all. You can go to your export path here for the importer and exporter. And so this is our converted folder where we imported from. You can click on the edited folder and then click on the final folder. The edited folder is only for a step that happens in between in the 2K16 and 17 conversions. So there's 3 folders that we have going on with those conversions, but with 2K18 and 2K19 conversions, you just import from that converted folder and you export, and you skip the edited folder. You just export straight to the final folder. I also need to go back and make sure that my import path is set to the converted folder, as I did go in and import this 2K18 file. So I'm going to go back to my previous folder that I imported from, so converted here. And once I have made sure that my export folder is the final folder and my import folder is the converted folder, now I can go ahead and click export. Okay. So I'm going to locate, I'm going to go ahead and go to that final folder. And I'm going to go back to this place where I have my 2K18 PNG and face archives. I'm going to create a new folder, name it completed. Doesn't matter what the name of the folder is. It's just a place to prepare your files for putting in the 2K20 modded folder, and to also drag in your updated converted files. So I'm going to copy the face and PNG archives. That's the originals. I'm going to make sure I go into this completed folder here. I'm going to go into the final folder where we exported this model, copy it over here into this completed folder. I'm going to go back to the converted folder with our latest hi-hat.scene file that we imported with, which is in the converted folder. Copy that into the completed folder. And then I'm going to go back to open up the PNG archive in this completed folder. I'm going to select all the files, and then I'm going to deselect by control clicking the appearance info file. I'm going to delete everything except this appearance info file, which will be able to remain there and be used in 2K20. And now I'm going to go back to locate the folder that has the 2K20 base players files. Open up his PNG archive and find his math nodes file, hi-hat.math nodes, and I'm going to drag that into the completed PNG archive here. Done with that 2K20 players PNG archive. We can close that out, and now we can go back to our completed folder and the hi-hat.scene and the hi-hat.model file files that we dragged in previously. We can go ahead and copy those right into the PNG archive. Once that's done, we're done setting up the PNG archive, and there's nothing to do as far as the face archive. Unlike 2K16 and 17, 2K18 and 2K19 face textures, all those files can just be dragged and dropped into 2K20. So at this point, we will select both of these completed archives here, and I'm going to copy them into my modded folder. And now we can check it out in game. And as you can see, here is Mitch McGarry converted from 2K18 into 2K20. So now on to the 2K19 conversion example here. Just like we did when we started this 2K18 conversion, we're going to delete the NBA 2KXX.model file from this previous conversion here, and do the same for the converted folder, which will be regenerated. We're going to go now to my 2K19 player files, and we're going to go into the PNG archive, locate that largest model file, locate the hi-hat.scene file, drag it in here, and then we're going to copy this model file, drag it into the main tool directory, the 2K20 CF Convert Kit folder. We're going to rename that file to NBA 2KXX.model. Run the tool. Choose NBA 2K19, convert player to NBA 2K20, wait for confirmation here, exit and close. Go into the converted folder, open up that hi-hat.scene file in there. I think I have Notepad open, and I'm going to just go ahead and close whatever we have in there now. Okay. So I'm going to open up that hi-hat.scene file from the converted folder. And just like we did with 2K18, we're also going to go into the resources folder, the scene templates folder, NBA 2K19. We're going to open up one of these two files, but before we do, we're just going to double check real quick in Blender. I'm going to start a new file here, and I'm going to import the 2K19 player where I have his files extracted. And briefly, I'm just going to import him, and I'm going to go to edit mode. If you look up here where it says verts and you see 18,650 something vertices, then you know that you will want to open the 2K19 converted 1.scene file. And if you came in here and for the verts you saw something in the 18,700s, so there's basically just like two vertex counts that were pretty common in 2K19. This one's the most common one, 18,657, and I believe the second most common is 18,746, something like that. But it's 18,700 something. It's significantly more than this. So just know that if you look in here and you see 18,650 something for the verts, you need to open this 2K19 converted 1 file. Otherwise, open up this 2K19 converted 2.scene file. Go into split view here. And just like 2K19, all I care about is the prim section. I'm going to copy that from this template scene template file over here. And paste it over that same section in our converted hi-hat.scene file. Once that's done, you can hit save, open it up in Blender, start a new file here. So first we'll import the converted player, and we've got two things, just exactly like 2K18 conversions. There's two things we need to do here for a 2K19 conversion, and that is go into edit mode, deselect everything, locate the unused 2K20 vertex group, select it, and scale that down while holding control. It'll just go down in increments all the way until you see 0.00, and it shrinks it to a single point. Once you've done that, locate wherever you have your original 2K19 files. And import the original 2K19 model in here, which we will be shrink wrapping to. And it would probably be a good idea to rename that to 2K19 just to avoid confusion. I covered this earlier in the video, but in case you skipped ahead to specifically 2K19 conversions, disregard this 2K20 object here. That is loaded up in my default factory settings whenever I open up Blender. It's just there automatically specifically for when I do 2K16 and 2K17 conversions, because it's necessary to have that in here. It's the 2K20 base players model, and I just have it hidden, but don't worry about that. But do make sure that you import the 2K19 player, the original, rename that to 2K19, and then you can hide that if you want, and we'll go right ahead and shrink wrap to this 2K19 player. So go to Modifier tab, Add Modifier, Shrink-Wrap, select Base Body Shape for the first vertex group, then for the target, 2K19, copy this modifier 3 times, and go down for modifiers 2 through 4 here. Go to the vertex group for the second one, change that to torso shader model. Third one, hidden shader model. Fourth one, legs shader model. Okay, and with that being done, we can go ahead and scroll up here, hit apply all, and we can set our export path. So not in this converted folder where we just imported from. We imported the converted player from. And then not in the edited folder within it. But lastly, there is a final folder within that. So click on that final folder to set that as your export path. Also, as I went over in the 2K18 portion of this video, you'll notice that there's 3 folders, 3 like little subfolders. There's a converted, edited, and a final. The edited folder is only needed for 2K16 and 2K17 conversions. So with 2K18 and 2K19 conversions, we import from this converted folder and we export directly to this final folder. We skip the edited folder. And then also I need to double check that my import path is set back to the converted folder and the hi-hat.scene file in there. You should have the export path set to the final folder and the import path the converted folder. You can go ahead and click export. And once that's done, we want to go into, first I'm going to go to the final folder where the model file is that we just exported. So there's that. And then I'm going to go back to my folder where I have the 2K19 player files. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it completed. Doesn't matter what the name is, it's just somewhere to copy in the updated converted files, as well as bring in a copy of the face and PNG archives to edit them and prepare them for the modded folder in 2K20. So I'm going to grab PNG and face archives, and then I'm going to drag in the model file from the final folder, as well as the latest scene file that we have, which can be found in the converted folder. Okay. And so now you want to open up the PNG archive, and you want to select all the files, deselect the appearance info, and if you happen to have 3D hair, deselect any file names that have hair in it, so hair color, hair tangent, as well as any chest color, so that would be like tattoos and stuff, hair and chest textures in this case. So we've got the hair color, the hair tangent, the chest color, and then 3 .txtr files with the same beginning to the file name. So with all of those deselected, we're going to delete everything else. We're going to go first. We want to go into this this hair archive. So if your 2K19 player has its own hair archive, you want to locate that and drag in the largest model file and the hero1.scene file. Drag that into the completed PNG archive over here, and very briefly clear out all and any LOD information from this hero1.scene file, just like I do here. Save that, exit, make sure you confirm your changes in the PNG archive in 7-zip. Okay. And we want to go back to the 2K20, wherever you have your base players files stored. Open up that player's PNG archive and find the hi-hat.math nodes file from them and drag it over as well into the completed PNG archive. So it should look like this. We're done with the PNG archive. We don't need to do anything with the face archive for the converted player. So we've got our PNG archive here that we worked on. The face archive can just be dragged straight into the modded folder as it is, since 2K18 and 2K19 face textures will work in 2K20 right out of the box, as opposed to 2K16 and 17 face textures, which we do have to actually go in and change some things. But I'm going to go ahead and drag these two archives into the modded folder. Okay, so the converted player is now in our modded folder here. And now what I want to make sure we do, which is quite important, is also I'm going to locate the PNG archive that I just dragged into the modded folder, as opposed to opening up the one in here, since we have it dragged into the modded folder now. PNG 1344. And one thing you absolutely want to do is also, once you've dragged in, once you've deleted all the files, while preserving any chest hair textures, as well as the appearance info file, once you've dragged in the math notes file from the 2K20 base player, you also want to be sure to drag in from your completed folder the hi-hat.scene and hi-hat.model files. And finally, the last thing you want to do in this PNG archive in the modded folder is you want to open up the appearance info file, and these bottom lines here where it says has underscore and then something, there should be 7 of them, I believe. Highlight them all, delete those lines, and then go up to this next line where it says rig version 2, and that comma that follows the 2 in quotations, delete that comma and then save. Exit, make sure you confirm your changes, and now they should be ready to take a look at it in game. Okay, so as you can see, JJ Redick 2K19's version. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found this series of videos helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions on my official thread, and enjoy the tool. Thank you.